Well, Joe and Bill, we have reached my favorite portion of the game show, and I am really looking forward to the game I'm about to debut because it's an Amazing Race-inspired game format I've never tried out on the game show before. And since you are the first former racers to play this game, Team Guido is once again going to be Amazing Race trendsetters 20 years after trendsetting for the first time on the actual race. It is time for the Game of the Day!
Game of the Day.
And as I said at the beginning of the episode, the two of you are going to rewrite Amazing Race history in a way, and you're about to find out what I exactly mean by that statement. It's time to play a brand new game I like to call Change the Race. Change the Race. And here's how we play Change the Race. This game is solely just for fun, so there is no winning, no losing, and most importantly, no pressure. However, there will be a lot of decision making along the way, and this is why. I'm going to give you a theoretic Amazing Race scenario based on the Season 1 race course. These scenarios will specifically be inspired by the various locations, challenges, and events you experienced throughout Season 1, but might include race elements not used on the show during the inaugural season. So in other words, I am changing the race by incorporating elements not found in Season 1 within scenarios inspired by the Season 1 race course. Each scenario has two options, and all you have to do, Joe and Bill, is choose which one best fits what you think you would have done during the race, and explain why.
Back in 2001.
Back in 2001, yes.
Okay.
So I have 5 different scenarios, and we're going to go in chronological race order. With that being said, Joe and Bill, are you ready to change Amazing Race history and see how you would have adapted to various race scenarios?
Yes, if we can win it, especially.
Yeah, really, especially if we win.
Then let's play Change the Race. And here is Team Guido's first scenario. At the starting line in Central Park, Phil announces that the winner of the first leg of the race will receive the Express Pass, meaning any time up until the end of the 8th leg, the team can use the Express Pass to skip a challenge they don't want to complete. After receiving the clue at Victoria Falls, you overhear Rob and Brennan saying that they were going for the Fast Forward to try and assure a Leg 1 victory and obtain the Express Pass. Would you race Rob and Brennan to the Fast Forward and use your one and only Fast Forward opportunity so you could win the Express Pass and prevent Rob and Brennan from gaining it? Or would you save your Fast Forward opportunity and give up the chance of earning the Express Pass to Rob and Brennan?
We would not use it. We would save our Fast Forward. We know that we can beat Rob and Brennan in time.
Yep.
And using it at the very beginning is a total waste of time.
That's exactly how I thought you would answer that scenario, so my Guido senses are on point so far. And speaking of not wasting time, let's now move on to scenario number 2. During Leg 5 in Tunisia, the first of 2 U-turns on the race course is located at the end of the detour, meaning one team might be forced to complete both sides of the detour, which were listening and puzzling. Listening involved traveling to an easy-to-find location and then completing a difficult challenge that involved finding the next clue using a pair of walkie-talkies. Puzzling involved traveling to a hard-to-find location and, upon arrival, complete an easy puzzle. You arrive at the U-turn board first, but figure that many of the teams are very close behind. Does Team Guido use the power of the U-turn at this location, or does Team Guido save their U-turn power for later on in the race?
I think I'd save it till later in the race because we're good at puzzles. We're good at finding things. We're always good with maps and directions.
I would be inclined to use it. At that point in time, we were certainly expecting Rob and Brennan, Kevin and Drew, and Frank and Margarita to beat our prime competition. Not so much Kevin and Drew at that point. So I would have been inclined to U-turn Rob and Brennan.
Okay, I would agree with
And
that.
hope that we'd just beat Kevin and Drew and Frank and Margarita implode on their own.
Well, what's interesting is, in that leg, the U-turn probably wouldn't have mattered because Paul and Amy got so far behind.
Right.
So you're going to go with Rob and Brennan as your U-turn target?
Yeah, because we could have beaten Paul and Amy. They weren't getting along.
Yeah.
Paul didn't want to be there at all.
Yeah.
Despite Paul and Amy getting completely lost, maybe Amazing Race history would have been different had Team Guido been given the opportunity to U-turn Robin Brennan in Tunisia. Alright, moving on. Let's see what scenario number 3 has in store. During Leg 7, the glide detour option in Italy, in which one team member has to ride a glider to receive their next clue, is now a roadblock. The clue for the roadblock reads, "Who wants to go for a glide?" Team Guido, who would take on this roadblock? Joe or Bill?
Joe.
Joe. Joe's not afraid of heights. We've actually been in gliders before in Hawaii. They're kind of cool, but I think I probably would have done it rather than Bill.
It was my idea, Bradley, because we weren't able to do the glider in the race. I said, let's go do a glide in Hawaii because it'd be fun to experience what Kevin and Drew did.
All right, here comes scenario number 4. Leg 8 in India features an intersection, meaning you have to join forces with another team and complete all tasks together until further notice. Team Guido ends up being intersected with Robin Brennan. And for the detour, you want to do the rowboat option, but Robin Brennan wants to do the elephant option. After 2 minutes of arguing about which detour option to choose, you still can't come to a decision. At this point, do you give in to Robin Brennan and choose the elephant task despite it being the slower detour option, or do you continue to waste time and try to persuade Robin Brennan to do the rowboat task, which is the faster detour option?
I think we could convince Robin Brennan that they've got the wrong thing. They're smart enough guys. They would go, okay, yeah, we've got muscles, we can row. I think we could convince them.
Yeah. And if we wasted any more time, they'd probably sue us.
They would try to get you penalized in some way.
Yes.
Try to get us penalized. That's right.
All right, Joe and Bill, here comes your final scenario. Leg 10 in Thailand was a non-elimination leg in which you came in last place. Phil then says that you will face a disadvantage in the next leg because you came in last, and you will need to choose between one of the following 2 disadvantage options. Not knowing what Leg 11 will entail at this point, which one of these disadvantages would you choose? Being forced to decide which detour challenge you must complete by the flip of a coin, or being forced to choose who would complete the roadblock without the help of a clue. However, before you make up your mind, you must know that if you choose the detour coin disadvantage, the coin flip will occur right there on the mat with heads representing detour choice A and tails representing detour choice B. And if you choose the roadblock disadvantage, you must decide who will do the roadblock right there on the mat. So Team Guido, which disadvantage will it be?
Jeez, that's a complicated decision. And both of them we don't know until the choice is made.
Correct. You don't know what either of the detour options are or what the roadblock clue is going to say. You have to choose a disadvantage right there on the mat blindly.
Either way is not good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess make it quick and just do the coin toss.
Yeah, I think probably just do coin toss.
That's the disadvantage I probably would have chose as well, because when you get to the roadblock, you have a clue so you can try to figure out which team member would be better at performing the task based on the clue. But with the detour, sometimes teams are just better off randomly picking a detour option to complete anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
And that was the last decision you had to make, Joe and Bill, so thanks for playing Change the Race. Change the Race.